What's happening, boys and girls? I am the Anthro Metal, and welcome back to Today in Gaming. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you are having a magnificent Monday. Got a fair bit of news to get through, so we're just going to go ahead and just go right into everything. So first little bit, over the weekend, TennoCon which is the Warframe-centric convention they hold up at Digital Extremes in their hometown up there in Ontario in Canada. And they revealed a lot of stuff. So they've been working on kind of a secret project for the last 6 months. If you haven't played Warframe, I highly suggest you do, just to kind of preface this. Warframe is completely free to play. There are some, of course, paying elements to it if you want to, but you don't have to. I myself, I put like 500 something hours into the game, and I've narrowly spent like just a small amount on it just because I feel like they deserve it. It is an amazing game, and it's all free, and I highly suggest you play it. It's all available for all the consoles. With that out of the way, that's just me praising the game. So they unveiled a lot of stuff, a lot of new updates coming out. So they regularly do a lot of updates, but this is going to be a huge one because it actually introduces a map that's bigger than anything they've ever done before, and it actually introduces a lot of like open world elements specific to this map. So typically with Warframe gameplay, you go into a certain area, you go to a planet, it's like set in the solar system, so you go to like, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and some of their moons, Phobos, Ceres, and you go into these areas which are procedurally generated, and, blast through a bunch of enemies, fight through them, do the mission. There's like 7 different missions types, like a defense, a capture, a survival, all these different things, and then you jump through and you're done. Now, a lot of these aren't really that wide open. There are some that have some kind of open elements to them, but the majority of them are really in confined kind of spaces. So, if you really you tend to learn the tile sets and learn where you're going to jump through the moment that you get into a certain level. You're like, all right, I know this, I recognize this path here, so we're going to go through here, and you can blaze through a level really fast. They are making the new update that's going to come out. They said later this year for PC for sure. Not yet word on it for consoles. Usually it's about a month or so after the PC comes to consoles. And it's called Plains of Eidolon. And it is huge. It has a day and night cycle, which hasn't been seen before in this game. It's just awesome. I'm going to post the entire 17-minute gameplay trailer that they did at TennoCon down below, and just for you to check it out. They also were testing out some features where you could actually... So there's an enemy in the game called the Stalker, which, as you might guess, he's an assassin, he's a stalker, and so randomly he can show up in any one of these missions and come after you because you killed the boss or something like that. So what they showed is, typically he's an AI, but they showed some things about being a player-controlled stalker, which would be awesome. Bring really kind of like a Dark Souls type elements into there, where somebody can invade your game and come after you as a stalker. No word yet on anything else regarding that. We just saw a very brief footage from TennoCon showing that. So I also saw new footage for a new Warframe, and that's going to be glass-based. They didn't really say too much about it. It was going to be, they said it's going to focus on like some stuff with like glass blowing and melting and stuff like that, so it's crazy. Since I started playing, they've already added like 5 or 6 new Warframes, and I just started playing last year, and they're always adding these. Warframes are kind of like your heroes, where they all have a different, or classes, they kind of have a different skill set. They're either heavily armored or agile or a cross in between. They have different abilities, each one. They have just kind of like 4 abilities, so building up and whatever. But it's really cool. It's really fun, and I highly suggest you check it out. So it introduces a lot of stuff. So if you're a Warframe fan, it's going to be awesome, and it's a good time to be so. And if you're new, jump into the game. Just jump in and play some and see what it's like. It can be daunting at times because it's not very friendly to new players, but it is highly worth it. I put so many hours in the game myself just over the last year, so I highly recommend it. So moving on from Warframe, Oculus Rift has been discounted. Both the headset and the touch controllers are now discounted to $399. That's $400. That's half of what it originally was when it first came out. So, and they're calling it the Summer of Rift, and no word yet on how long the sale is lasting, probably until the end of summer. But it is currently the cheapest it's ever been. So if you got a VR-ready computer, you might do yourself just try it, pick one up, try it out, or go to Best Buy or your local store and see if they have a display and check it out, because VR is pretty cool. I myself am still super skeptical because there's not like a lot of full-on stuff for it yet, outside of stuff with PSVR, but that's completely different. So, it's still the cheapest it's ever been. So if there's a time to jump in now, that price point is as low as it's probably going to get in a long time. Unless they just keep it there because what reasons, right? So moving on. Next story we're going to talk about is the Switch is getting first a big third-party game I've heard coming to the Switch, WWE 2K18. It's the first WWE game on a Nintendo console in 5 years. So that's even like beyond, like it wasn't even on Wii U. The last WWE game I think was way back on the original Wii, if I'm not mistaken, which I probably am, but I don't know how it's going to do because these games are pretty intensive, and I mean, you can find tons and tons of videos about glitches that people have seen, and just they're absolutely ridiculous and hilarious when they happen. But I mean, I don't know how it's going to fare on this hardware, how much they're going to have to bring it down, or how much they're going to be able to optimize for it. So we'll have to be on the lookout for that and see if it ends up doing well or not. So, a cool story to share is Summer Games Done Quick, which is something they do every summer. It's basically a bunch of speedrunners all get together and try and do these classic games all as fast as possible. And even some current games, like I know Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 are in there as well. Probably Neo and some other games that are, it just will take a little bit of time to get through everything. Well, but what they do is they raise money all the time. It's always a big fundraiser. And this year they broke their previous goal. They broke a fundraising record of $1.7 million they raised for Doctors Without Borders, which is fantastic. It's phenomenal. That's amazing. So kudos to them, and just awesome Games Done Quick. I'm so proud of that. Gamers are awesome because we can do crap like this. So never let anybody tell you that we're useless. All right, so some more big news. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has got its open beta dates and some pre-order dates to get into a beta. So if you pre-order the game, now they didn't mention if this was going to be Xbox One or PS4 specific. They didn't mention if it was exclusive one or the other, if it comes first or not. But so just take this with a grain of salt. It may end up being that PS4 gets it first or it could be that Xbox One gets it first. I don't know. But what EA said on a PlayStation blog, that the beta will come to people who have pre-orders first on October 4th, and then everyone else, it's going to be open from at October 6th until October 9th. So if you pre-ordered it, you're going to get in 2 days early. If not, you can still check the game out for those 3 days on there and see what you like about it. So I think they said there's going to be 2 multiplayer things available. One's going to be like a Starfighter Assault, and the other one's going to be the multiplayer shootout map that we saw on Naboo. I think that's the one we saw at E3. So just be on the lookout for that come October. So another thing, does not pay to cheat. And about 40,000 accounts found that out from Steam. Steam dropped a massive ban hammer days after the giant Steam sale ended that they always do. And I mean, 40,000 accounts by far shatters the record for banned accounts all at once. I think the last record was like 16,000 before. So I mean, wow. I think that I saw estimates that total in-game stuff that it accounted for was up to almost like $10,000 worth of content that got banned because of cheating and other exploits and stuff like that they've used. So hopefully you weren't affected by that. If you were, stop cheating, and if it's a mistake, contact Valve, see what they can do. But man, wow, just don't cheat. How hard is that? Don't use hacks, don't do stuff like that. Don't screw over people that are trying to play clean, like what happens in GTA Online like all the time. So, it's just a crazy story, man. So, moving on. I'm bad at segues, aren't I? We got a full-on trailer, a gameplay trailer, some pre-alpha footage, actually, from Wild West Online. That was the game that people got screenshots from and thought it was Red Dead Redemption. Turns out it's a completely different MMO that's coming out soon, and looks pretty cool. I mean, it's Wild West Online. I can't really explain it more than that. Just check out the trailer. I'll include it, and just be on the lookout. Why don't you? So, God, I really need to work on my segues, don't I? I am bad at these. Next story we're going to cover is Amazon Prime Day is started today in the UK and is going to be starting later today in the States and going to be all through tomorrow. and it's going to include, it's just like, this is the summer sales, all right? It really is. So we had the Steam summer sale, the Xbox Ultimate sale, PS4 is having a sale too, and now Amazon Prime Day is having a giant sale. So there's a lot of gaming stuff in there, a lot of gaming stuff included. There's going to be discounted probably 1-year subscriptions. There's probably going to be discounted consoles, etc., etc., etc. So just make sure to check out the deals if you do have Prime. If not, 30-day free trial. Use it for that day. Get you some super discounted stuff, and there you go. And while you're at it, you can play Warframe and get a free Prime Warframe, which is freaking hard to get. Sorry, I'm done with Warframe for now. Last thing we're going to talk about is Destiny 2 news. So, just 3 kind of things to cover here. Destiny 2 is getting a white PS4 limited exclusive edition, and it looks sick. I really need it because I got a white Xbox One, and it would fit oh so nicely with that white Xbox One, even though I'll probably get an Xbox One X, and hopefully that will be a white one as well. Then I can have a PS4 Pro that's white, and an Xbox One X that's white. Or I might just, if, whatever, I'd probably just get black and black. It doesn't matter. I just like seeing limited edition. I'm always a sucker for that stuff. So another thing is that Destiny 2 showed off a new Crucible map called Endless Vale on the, I was about to say planet. I don't know if it's a planet. It might be a moon Nessus, I want to say. I honestly haven't looked at it. Just saw the news headline. Thought it was worth mentioning. And people are always saying it already looks really cool, really pretty. But Destiny environments always look gorgeous. So I'll include that below so you can check it out. And last but not least, an artist reference portal that Destiny 2 launched, that Bungie launched, shows off a lot of new character armor. And they said this is for people that want to sketch it, people that want to paint it, draw it, people that want to do cosplay with it. It's really cool they're giving this resource. And it's like the 3D models. Like, it straight up showed people in the Jesus pose, and so it's really cool looking to get an insight into that and for them to just show that off. And, I mean, Bungie's a great company. They've always been really forthcoming, and try to be really open with their fans and open with the people that play their games. So that's going to do it for the news today. Did I miss anything? Is there any news story that I should have covered that I didn't? Please let me know about it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to look into it, see what I can't get something maybe in the future for it. If I did say something that you really liked about, if you're a fan of all this, please leave a like. It would be awesome if you did. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And I don't know why I pointed over there. It's like over there somewhere. It's just down there. So hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out and really appreciate it. Do you like the new background? Boom! Today in Gaming, right? The new logo and everything? Awesome. Yeah, got a buddy of mine that did that. He's amazing. And shout out to him for helping me out there. So, that's going to do it for me today. Again, I'm the Anthem Metal. This was Today in Gaming. I love ya, and I will see you tomorrow.